What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the street reporter. And I'm not going to lie, ever since I've been doing these breakdowns, I've been getting a lot of people asking me to do certain topics. A lot of people been asking me to kind of dig in my bag a little bit and speak on some legends from like the 90s. The only thing about that is those cases are so well documented. It's so much paperwork when it comes to like gang leaders that it would be hard for me to do that. But I am going to break down one today, but it's going to kind of be like a quick breakdown because more like the conclusion I'm going to give you is more like what I believe everyone is kind of missing. I don't think this is going to be a conclusion where I'm going to tell you what happened because the paperwork and, the rumors and just living life for that long could pretty much tell you what happened. So we're going to kind of speak on the situation today. A lot of people wanted me to talk about like the Gangster Disciples leader, Larry Hoover. I thought that was kind of hard because he's so big, well known. A lot of people didn't spoke on him. He's kind of like a political leader if you're looking at street figures that way. You get what I'm saying? So it was hard to break that one down because this video probably will go about 2 days because there's just so much information, so much conspiracy theories and shit like that. So I kind of want to break it down on a quick side for you guys. Kind of bypass it real quick. So we're going to kind of I'll give you a background on Larry Hoover. I believe Larry Hoover was from, I believe his relatives and shit migrated from like Mississippi. But we're not going to get into that. But Larry Hoover, he was a gang leader, basically the king of the Gangster Disciples, okay? Whether you wanted to call it BGD or however the fuck you wanted to say it back in the day, we're just going to say he's the leader of the Gangster Disciples. He was very known as very treacherous, Now, before we get into this, I don't really want people to get me wrong on this one because I do believe that a lot of bad energy came from the movement that he started. Not saying it wasn't started for good. I understand back in the days there was a lot of racism shit going on and it was very strongly urged to want to protect your communities. But with anything good, bad always come out of it. But I'm not going to lie, it was a lot of bad things that came from the energy of the Gangster Disciples and shit like that. Not to say everything was bad, but eventually a lot of bad energy came. We're going to go blah, 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 kind of speed it up. The police realized that this guy has a lot of power, you know what I'm saying? So they claimed that in 1973, all right, that this guy ordered a hit, so he's responsible for the killing of, I believe, this 16-year-old dude. I could be wrong, but I believe he was 16 years old, shot 4 times in the head. He was given 150 years for that. They also put things of him under the Gang Act to kind of help give him those big years and shit like that, He sat in jail for a while. I believe in 1997, while he was locked up, they do some bullshit and realize that he still runs the game from inside the jails. He still is the man from inside the jail. So he ended up getting 6 life sentences, okay? 6 life sentences because I guess people are getting killed and murdered and he's ordering hits or whatever the police are saying. Now think about this. He was very smart. He didn't allow them to catch him up on anything. So they kind of used his friends, his visitors, the people that came to visit him. They put like little fake bugs and microphones in their passes and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So when they came to visit Larry Hoover, they didn't know that they were mic'd up and bugged up and they end up catching all Larry Hoover conversation. And I'm not going to lie, when you listen to it, because I listened to the tapes, I listened to some of the transcripts, I read through a lot of paperwork, I shuffled through some, and I'm not going to lie, from what I heard, you could pretty much tell that this guy Larry Hoover still had a stronghold, okay? He still had a stronghold on the Gangster Disciples. Now, I know that might hurt for me to say that. You guys might be upset. Truth, you're going along with the government. You're going along with the government. He didn't just shoot people and shit. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying he did what they accused him of doing, but I want you guys to understand this was some gang leadership, His energy put guns in a lot of young men's heads, His energy caused a lot of people to be stuck and hooked on drugs and shit like that, A lot of robberies, a lot of bad things happened in those communities that Larry Hoover had a stronghold on, even when he was locked up. That's not just to put it to him, but look, we ain't gonna sit here and act like this guy was just goddamn it like Justin Bieber. He was just a good little boy. This nigga was treacherous. Don't get it confused, you feel me? But at the same token, we're not going to just go along with what the police saying because they do be having agendas. But I'm not going to lie, when you listen to those tapes and shit, you clearly can tell that this was the motherfucking undisputed leader, boss, king, top-notch nigga of the motherfucking GDs, you feel me? He was laying laws down, he was putting the script down, he was telling niggas how it's going to go, and it sounded like he was telling motherfuckers to throw parties and shit. It sounded like he was ordering hits, I'm not going to lie. Okay? Alright? Alright? Okay, that's what the fuck they trying to say. Then they say, you know, like I told you, that in 1997, he gets caught up in a conspiracy. Okay? He get caught up in a conspiracy, all them little charges and shit like that. Then he gets 6 life sentences. All right? The conclusion basically is he's going to sit in a prison, a supermax. Okay? He's going to sit in a supermax until he dies. All right, in Colorado, okay? That's where the hell he's at, in the Supermax in Colorado. Barely gets to go out. He done been in home confinement. He done been in solitary, okay? Solitary confinement for over 20 years, all right? He just recently was allowed out. He hasn't been able to touch his family, talk to his family, anything in a long ass time, okay? This is the problem I got though, right? Because it's hard for me to say they did this guy wrong. This guy should be home, man. He didn't do it. And, you know, we heard the tapes. Now, whether they got the tapes the right way, you know, tricking your friends, setting people up, that's the wrong way to kind of imprison someone. I would have liked for them to do it the right way. You know, that was a personal conversation. You know, if you're going to lock him up, do it the right way. Don't entrap him, you know. But I'm not going to act like that wasn't on them tapes, okay? But here go my problem. I believe with all the violence that's going on in the city of Chicago, you know, this was the perfect person for a pardon. You know, pardons are something that presidents do once they get to leave office. You know, they kind of want to put a stamp on what they did, you know. If you got a guy who was maybe locked up and the time was too maybe aggressive, too much time for that case, or somebody that you feel could do better out here on the street and it served a lot of time, you know, it's a few of these guys you can pick to let go out of jail. Basically a second chance card, a get out of free card. Donald Trump used that shit on Kodak Black. Now, I'm not knocking Kodak. I respect it. I'm not knocking him, but I'm just saying, you know, he used that shit on Kodak, you know, when I think Larry Hoover would have been a perfect person to do this. Think about it. This guy been locked up about 47, 48 years. Do anybody think this guy's still a gang member? Like, don't get me wrong. This guy's been locked up that long. This guy, I believe, is 69, 70 years old. Do you really think he's finna come out here and smack the fuck out one of these kids and take these streets back? These shorties don't even listen to their mama. They don't even listen to their daddy, man. They don't care about 12. They don't care about the judge. They don't care about their homie girlfriend. They don't care about nothing. What make you think they finna come and listen to some 70-year-old ass man because y'all talking about he was the shit back in the 60s? They ain't finna listen to him, man. I ain't saying a lot of people won't, but they ain't finna listen to him. You understand what I'm telling you? I think Larry Hoover would do way more good on the streets right now, telling the youth to stop this violence, to cut this shit out, follow his movement, do it the right way. I think Larry Hoover can help people on the street right now. If you ask me, this man ain't got shit to gain by joining no gangs again. He got everything to lose by joining that type of organization again. He has nothing. I'm talking about, it's nothing in the world he can gain by telling the motherfucker, don't stand out there on 79th and sell no drugs. Ain't shit he can gain from that. It's more shit that he can gain by bringing structure to an organization like a charity, by being a promoter, by getting on Vlad TV and these interviews and speaking like a big homie and shit like that. Be able to sign rappers, open up job opportunities for young men. I think the feds is afraid that he gonna put the spotlight on what's really going on in the neighborhoods. I think the feds is afraid that he's gonna fucking expose what's really going on, because they want you to know about Millennium Park. They want you to know about the little beam and shit. They spent $300 million on a beam. They want you to know that they spent another $1 billion on free Wi-Fi. Who give a fuck about that, man? Y'all should spend that money on free babysitting so everybody can be out here with an opportunity to get jobs. Y'all should give jobs tax breaks if they have somebody who haven't worked in a couple years. How about shit like that? Free housing for people who need that shit. How about y'all do shit like that? Cut some of this rent out. Because you ain't raising minimum wage up that much, but you keep raising motherfucking rent out. How about you do that? You see, I don't think people see that shit. I think that they're afraid that he's going to expose and bring the spotlight on what's really going on in the hood. And I don't think, the government in Chicago really want that to go on, if you ask me. I think this is the perfect person to give a second opportunity to. I believe violence will go down if he was getting out of jail, if you ask me. I think that should go down. Now, I ain't said it go down a whole bunch, because it might just go down like 0.1, because these niggas out here crazy, but it will go down. You get what I'm saying? I think Larry Hoover will be the perfect person to talk to the youth. Who else you gonna get to talk to the youth? Lil Durk? We're going to have the young leading the young again. Who you going to go get to tell them to stop the violence? Who you going to go get? Fredo Santana? That's who you going to get? R.I.P. Fredo Santana. He not here no more. That's probably a bad example. Who you going to go get? You going to go get Chief Keef? That's who the fuck you going to go get? Think about it, man. I think these people are listening to Larry Hoover. I think he'll be like Louis Farrakhan for the young people. But I don't think the feds and the police want that to happen, I think they want him to deal with these murders that had happened. And I'm not saying that shit ain't happening. Because them people people who died by the hands of the signal from the motherfucker him who gave that signal, they probably don't want his ass out of jail. But I'm just saying, if it was a law where it was a loophole where somebody could get out of jail for a second opportunity that can do good, that can help the youth, because it's 500-600 people dying every day in Chicago. 700 people a year dying in Chicago. That's over 1,000 every 2 years. That's over 2,000 every 4 years. That's over 4,000 every 8 years. You get what the fuck I'm saying? Y'all gonna have 50,000 people wiped out y'all community in 10, 11, 12 years, all because of this bullshit. If he can help, I think anything can help them young people stop being mad and aggressive. I think you should do it. But that's my conclusion. It's the homie Truth Teller, the Street Reporter. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I don't need no donations. Keep them to yourself. If you want to support me, this how you do it. Make sure before you get off this video, because you said you want to support, you make sure before you get off this video, you hit that like button. I want to make sure I see about 2,000 likes on this video. You feel me? It's the homie Truth.